Hey guys, welcome back. So I thought I would do a quick get ready with me video. I'm about to go to take my son to physical therapy here shortly. I've learned get ready a little early when you have a really young baby, because you need to get ready probably like hours before you actually think you need to, because then they wake up and things happen and you're running all over the place like a crazy person. And if you don't get ready super early, you're gonna be late. That's just what I've learned. So while he's napping, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. I want to give you guys a little life update, chit chat about some things. So firstly, I think I may have mentioned in my previous video that I am back in school. I decided to go back to online school to pursue a career in IT management. So I chose IT management because when I was looking for remote positions after I left the grooming industry, I noticed that there were a lot of available jobs in those departments, and they also had higher pay than a lot of other industries, and that there's a lot, did I already say there's a lot of jobs available? Because I'm looking for longevity. I'm looking for something that is, like I said, gonna stay around for a while, that's going to have decent pay, you know, decent job opportunities. I want the time off. I want the ability to have time with my son, the just like regular 40-hour work week. So when you go into computer science, there's three options, at least at the university I'm attending, that either you can go into software development, which is not my thing. I'm not computery like that. You can do data analysis, which I considered, or you can do IT management. So the reason I chose IT management over data analysis is in IT management, there's a lot more like leadership roles. It's kind of like hand in hand in a sense with the data analysis. Like that's kind of a different division, but it's kind of the same vibe, I guess. I don't know how to describe it because it's different, but similar. Like basically, why is like on camera it looks like I have a spot right here, but in person I don't. So I don't know what that's about. What is that? Is it a shadow? Weird. Anyway, so I liked the possibility for leadership roles because I know myself. And even if I go into something and I'm like, I'm just gonna be an employee, I'm not gonna do all that, I end up in management or owning my own business or what. I'm always in a leadership role. Like it's just where I kind of fall into line. Like I think it's maybe a control issue thing, but I guess I'm just gonna utilize it. I like to be in control, you know? So anyway, that's why I chose IT management. There's HR potential. There's a lot of different things you can do. So through my college, you have like your courses. I'm in for a bachelor's degree, but to get a master's, it's only like one additional year. The bachelor's is 2.5. So I was like, you know what, I'll probably go for my master's as well, but I'm gonna start with the bachelor's. We'll just kind of see where it ends us up, you know? Anyway, so I, like I said, chose IT management because I liked like all the different, I started to say, the reason I brought that up is, so you go for the bachelor's program, but while you're in the program, there's opportunities to earn different certificates, and one of them was in HR, so I liked that. Like I felt like it opened me up to more job opportunities. So that's kind of like the basis of all of this, is I want to make sure whatever I'm going to school for is something I'm going to be able to use. Like, you know, I don't want to go, I already technically have done that I went to school for human hair and didn't even end up in a salon, which I still to this day don't enjoy doing human hair. The only person's hair I do anymore is mine. Well, I do my sister's sometimes, but she's got to the point that she's in hair school now herself, and honestly a lot of times she gets them to do her hair. She colors it, but I was cutting it for a while, which again I just didn't enjoy doing. I liked doing dog's hair. I liked men's haircuts, but even still, like, I wouldn't want to do a man's haircut right now. Like, I just feel like I'm out of practice. It's just not something I enjoy anymore. I don't prefer doing people hair over dog hair because people, it's like you do like one little cut and they're like in the mirror, like, are you sure this spot right here? I'm like, if you back up and let me finish my haircut before you start critiquing, you know? Anyway, so I just didn't enjoy it. But regardless, I don't want to do that again because I'm using, I'm I've got like some federal aid. Um, I got a few student loans, and I found out my grandfather and my grandma had made a I think 529 college account for me at one point in time. So I'm going to use that as well to help pay for everything. So that's kind of the goal of that, is just I want to get through school, and I want to make sure what I'm going for is something I'm going to use that will propel me forward. Because the thing is with like remote positions like I'm looking at is they're very, very competitive. So having something like a bachelor's is going to help to separate me. And my school also has employment opportunities, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I've been dealing with some like personal family matters that have gotten extremely what's the word I'm looking for? Insane is the word coming to mind, but you know, whatever. I'm not going to talk too much about that because it is, first of all, personal, and second, it's out of hand. Okay, we're just gonna say that. We're just gonna say it's out of hand, but it's very serious, so it has to be addressed. But anyway, that's made me fall behind. Well, you know what we're working on this week in school is procrastination and time management and those kind of things. And I'm going to say that that stuff has enabled my procrastination. That, you know, when something is I thought I heard the baby. I forgot to bring my baby monitor in here. He's been sleeping for a while, so he may wake up, but we're gonna hope not. Anyway, so it aids me having these other things helps me to procrastinate, because you know when you're faced with something new and scary, you want to procrastinate. You're like, let me do the easy stuff first. And it's driving me crazy that like in the video it's looking like I have like a pimple or something on my nose. I don't, I swear. It is the shadow. It's a shadow. It's the way the counter is reflecting in my face. Anyway, so it has enabled my procrastination, which I'm trying to improve upon. This rare beauty brand is, I think, Selena Gomez's brand. It's pretty good. I got like a little trial thing of this, like the mascara and an eyeshadow stick. I loved it, so I was like, I'm gonna get their highlighter. This thing's huge, and you only need like a tiny bit of highlighter. So I switched to this like cream and like liquid highlighter situation because my skin is so dry. So all the powders that used to be popular back in the day don't work so well for me. They like make me look like a dry old lady, you know? Anyway, so I've really just been enjoying all the stuff I've been learning, because like, so right now, so basically how it works, and I don't know if this is every college or just the one I'm attending, it sounds like my mom went to a different university and it sounds like this is similar, that essentially the first term you it's kind of like an introduction to what your school is going to be like, you know? So practicing like different things and whatever. So we're kind of like talking about, like last week we talked about like grit, which is like you know, you think like grit on like the thing that always comes to my mind is the Dremel, like the grit on the sanding thing on the Dremel. And obviously something with a coarser grit, more textured, is going to get the job done faster and whatever. So anyway, grit is essentially like determination and your ability to keep pushing forward despite challenges. So anyway, it was really interesting. And ironically, this week we are talking, like I said, about time management and procrastination. And we have discussion posts that are due every week. And last week we were talking about the grit stuff, the growth mentality versus, oh my God, what's it called? Growth and, stagnant is not the right word. God damn it, what is it? What is the word? That's gonna drive me crazy. Growth mentality, it'll come to me. But anyway, you either have the growth mentality or you have the mentality where you just, it's a fixed mentality. I think fixed might be the right word. Anyway, so we were talking about that last week, and in my discussion post I talked about 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, which I've been really enjoying. I have like 57 minutes left in the book. I need to just finish it off, but I'm like divided in too many places. I need to, you know what, I'm gonna do that today. I'm not gonna procrastinate on it anymore. I'm going to turn that on when I'm driving to River's appointment, because I should have time to, between driving there and back, I should be able to finish it today. So let's do that. Let's not procrastinate on this book anymore. Let's just finish it. So anyway, I talked about that in my discussion post. My instructor came on and responded, and he said that's actually our video for week 2 is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. So funny. So today, that was my assignment, was watching her video on procrastination and the 5-second rule. And I had to take a quiz on it, which I got 100. So anyway, I've just been doing a lot of that, but like all that stuff has been really helpful. Like her 5-second rule is basically, okay, so you get that spark of motivation, like I need to do this. And the 5-second rule is like the second that you're like, oh, I need to, like I said, listen to this book or whatever, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you do it immediately. You don't think about it. So doing the countdown, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stops your brain from coming up with excuses. So, you know, normally you'd be like, oh, I need to listen, I want to finish up this book, but you'd be like, oh, but I have to do this, I have this going on, my family, I've got to finish this project, whatever. So that's where your brain would normally go. But by counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you just do it. So it's like, honestly, kind of like following inspired action. You guys know, if you've been following me for a long time, I like love the book, The Secret. Still to this day, I love that book. I reread it often. Right now, actually, my sister has it, but I bought it on Audible and I'll listen to it every now and then when I feel like I need that refresher, you know? So anyway, it kind of works with the 5-second rule, because like basically you would have that inspiration and then you're going to take the inspired action to move forward towards your goal, right? So that 5-second rule has been so freaking helpful to me. I do it all day long. Like I'll be like, oh, I need to get up and do yoga, and I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just do it, right? Because otherwise I'd be like, well, I'm tired, like let me just sit here, I'm gonna scroll a little longer, I'm exhausted, and I give myself all these reasons for why I should be able to calm, to chill and whatever, and they're valid. Like, and that's the thing, is you are valid, but you also feel guilty and you beat yourself up when you're not getting things done, right? So it's really helpful in aiding you into being like, you know what, I need to do this right now. Like, let me not push it off. And then when you get it done, you feel really good. You're like, oh, I've accomplished so much. Like this morning, for example, first of all, I accidentally slept in. I turned my alarm off a couple days ago. Not last night, but the night, was it last night? No, it was last night. No, not last night. Sorry, the night before. My sister was over. She was doing my hair until like 4 a.m, and I was like, I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. So I turned my alarm off, whatever. I knew my son would wake me up early. So I forgot to turn it back on last night. So I accidentally woke up today at 7:30, and I was like, shit. But my son got up, and I got him taken care of. I always start by taking care of him, giving him his bottle and changing him, whatever. So we did that. And then I put him down to play for a little bit, and I worked on a report that I'm working on for a family issue. And then he started getting to where he was done playing, and I put him in the bathtub, gave him his bath, got him dressed, gave him another bottle, put him down for a nap, and then I went and completed all my assignments for the day, talked to some friends, and now I'm getting ready. So, you know, and it's like, I don't know what time it is. Maybe 11:30. I'm thinking 11:30 because I think I came in here maybe around 11. So I'm like, okay, like I'm feeling really productive, and for some reason, like when you already like are in that mode of being like, oh, like I already got all this stuff done, it like encourages you to be like, now I'm gonna get this thing done, and I can get that thing done, and whatever, you know. So it's kind of where I'm at right now. So anyway, that has been very helpful to me. So hopefully it helps somebody else, me talking about it. So I also read her book, The Let Them Theory. I actually read that one first. I saw it, I had gone with Barnes & Noble. I took my grandfather up there because he loves to read, so I'll take him sometimes to go get books. He's not driving anymore. He has Alzheimer's and dementia. I believe I've talked about this before, but anyway, he's not driving anymore. He's in assisted living now. He could technically drive, but he like doesn't have any desire to. So anyway, I brought him to Barnes & Noble, walked in, saw The Let Them Theory. I always have a bunch of credits on Audible, so I was like, let me just get it on Audible. And honestly, didn't even, like, I just saw the cover of the book and I was like, let me check it out. I didn't know anything about it. I don't even know that I read the cover or anything. I was just like, whatever, you know, let me just read this. So I did that. And it was so freaking helpful because, as I've already mentioned, I can kind of be controlling. And that is something that has been hindering me in life because I can be controlling and I can also be like very in your face about it, which has caused a lot of issues between my son's father and I. And we are in the middle of child support court cases and everything. So it's like really important that we work together and get along because even at the end of the day, it's not about us, it's about my son, you know. So anyway, me not being so like, I'm a paragraph person. Okay, if you piss me off, I'm gonna paragraph you. So that's how I am. My son's father is a shut down person. So if you confront him about anything, so I come in with my paragraphs and he shuts down, stops talking, and then that leads me to going into orbit, and then I get mean as hell. It's a bad habit that I have picked up along the way. My mother is the same way, that if I try to talk to her about things that are bothering me, she immediately shuts down, stops talking, or she does talk, she's like, I'm just the worst mother ever, da 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 da. I'm like, it still just drives me nuts. So I feel like my son's father was like the universe being like, you've got to learn how to deal with people like this. So anyway, I read the let them theory, and that's the whole thing, is like you have to just let people do what they're gonna do, right? So you can try to inspire them and encourage them and whatever. Like, for example, my son's father, when he and I were together, he was very motivated. He went to the gym all the time. He ate really healthy. He never ate out. He always cooked. He always like kept himself like very. Now I'm like wondering, I'm like, is this like what I should be talking about right now? I've been finding ants around my house. I don't know where they're coming from. It's just mainly in the bathrooms. They must be like coming from like the tub or around the tub or something. Like, get out of here. Anyway, so if you see a little ant crawling by, I don't know what to do. Anyway, so I don't want to. He's going through a tough period, my son's father. So I'm not like saying this to dog him, but I want to give you an example of how like you can inspire somebody to do better. So anyway, like I said, very put together, well manicured, very motivated, ate healthy, only drank water. Like literally, he slept over one time, and I was like, "Do you want me to get some sodas or anything for you?" And he's like, "No, I just want water." He'd walk around with his little jug, not jug, but like, you know, like a thermos kind of thing that keeps your water cold all day. That was his thing. He also drank tap water from like the sink, which is like, but whatever. He was a water drinker. Okay. I didn't talk to him for a couple months, and then I talked to him right before we went to court in February, and for the first time, because we're going on time 3. This is a long ass process, but whatever. When I talked to him, he started telling me he hadn't been feeling good and all this, and I was like, you know, is it anxiety? Are you actually sick? Whatever. And he ended up telling me, I was like, I mean, I feel like I don't have to tell you to drink water. I was like, I know you already know that. And he's like, no, I don't drink water anymore. And I was like, you don't drink water? And he was like, no. He's like, no, I've gotten to the point I really don't drink a lot of water anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. Where the hell is my pencil sharpener? Pause in the story. Where did it go? Where's my sharpener? It's gotta be around here somewhere. Oh, you know what? I heard something. Yep. I was about to say, I heard something fall. It'd be my pencil sharpener. So, I was like, you're not drinking water anymore? And he was like, no. And I was like, do you think it's something you ate? And he was like, well, I ate Taco Bell on, you know, last night. And then the day before I had McDonald's. Then I had Chinese food. And I was like, wow, okay. I was like, well, that's different. I was like, I never knew you to, eat McDonald's and Taco Bell. Like, me and him went to Taco Bell like one time, but like I said, he always cooked. He's from Louisiana, and he liked cooking Cajun food, so he cooked a lot of that. He cooked all kinds of different things. I don't need to go into detail about everything he's ever cooked for me, but it was like, you know, so I was like, wow, that's like really surprising. And then he tells me like, you know, well, I took a vacation from the gym. Like, I can't, that may not have been his exact wording, but it was very much like, he phrased it like a good thing, like, you know, oh, I don't, you know, I'm giving myself a break. Like, the gym was like a bad thing. And I just ended up saying, I was like, I'm just so surprised. Because when we got to court too, he told me, like, he made a joke, like, thanks for showering for this occasion or whatever. And I was like, thank you for showering. And he was like, you have no idea how bad it had gotten. He was like, I hadn't shaved my face in 3 weeks. He was like, I had like a whole neck beard going. I had a unibrow growing. I hadn't plucked my unibrow. Sorry, I'm trying not to cuss. I know y'all don't like it. But I was like, wow. I was like, this is so new. I was like, when we were together, like, he loved to go to the gym. That was like his thing. He was so proud of it. I'd go over there and he'd be like goofing off, like flexing, and be like holding his arm certain ways and be like, look at that muscle. Like, he loved it, so it was just so bizarre that like all of a sudden he was like completely different. And I just said, I was like, oh, like, that's new. Like, that's just not how you used to be. But to each his own. And just kind of left it at that. And he immediately started eating better again. He started drinking water. He went to the gym and started doing more self-care and whatever. And I wasn't like, oh, like, you should start taking care of yourself or anything like that. I just said, oh, that's different. That's not how you used to be. And but I also, like, I do yoga every day. I eat really healthy because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm actually, by the way, only 7 pounds away from my goal, because I wanted to be, I was 125 before I got pregnant. And I'd like to get back to that. Ideally, if I could get down to 120, I'd be really happy. But I went to the doctor last week and I'm at 132. I was 137 in January, so I'm not trying to lose weight quickly. Side note, I am trying to get in shape, because my viewpoint was like, first of all, I want to love my body again. I think going through pregnancy makes every woman ever be like, like, oh, this is different. Your body's different after you have a baby, but it doesn't have to be worse, so anyway, I'm on this like healthcare journey of like wanting to eat better, do better, take care of myself, and also be in shape, because like I want to be able to sit on the floor with my son and play with him and do all of that, and also be able to get back up and not be like, oh, my knees hurt or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I just want to feel good about myself. So anyway, so I've been telling him that's all the stuff I was doing, and then he's like, yeah, and I'm eating McDonald's. So I think it just like encouraged him. So that was a very long-winded way of me saying, like, you can encourage people like that, but if I had told him like, you need to get your life together, you need to start taking care of yourself and he'd be more likely to be resistant. Because like when people start lecturing you and telling you how to be and how to behave and all of that, in the let them theory, it talks about that there's actually like a part of your brain that would typically accept that information and digest it. And when somebody starts lecturing you in that way, like when I come with the paragraphs and whatever, it makes that part of your brain shut off. So you are literally like, when you're the paragraph person, you feel like all this is going in one ear and out the other. And that's basically what's happening, is because that part of their brain that would normally be taking in information like this shuts down. It's like, no, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even want to listen to this, whatever. So essentially, this is a very long-winded way of me saying that I'm trying to learn the best way to like handle different types of people, because sometimes in our lives we encounter these people and we can't get rid of them. I've had a lot of people, like with my son's father, like, oh, just shut him out, whatever. Unfortunately, when you have a child with somebody, they never really go away, okay? Like, you don't have that anymore. Hold on, let me grab these lashes. If you were to go through a breakup, typically that person would be gone forever, right? But when you have a baby with somebody, yeah, they say, oh, 18 years is all you have to do. That's not true. They're around for life. Like, as long as you and them are alive, you are going to have to deal with that person. One day when my son gets married, my son's father will be at his wedding. When he graduates high school, his dad is going to be there. When he has his kids, his dad's going to be there. You know what I mean? So it's like, you don't really get rid of this person. I'll most likely be at his funeral. He's 11 years older than me. That's why I'm assuming that he's going first. But I could be wrong, obviously. So it is important that although we did not work in a relationship setting, that we get along for the sake of, first of all, having to deal with each other forever, and also so that my son doesn't have to be in the middle of it. That's been one thing I've been very clear about from the start, is that I don't want my son to be ever in the middle of our argument or to have to see us arguing. Let me throw this away. Benefit of reusable lashes, but you also have to take the glue off, which I don't love doing, but whatever. You do what you gotta do. They're expensive. I use these bitches as long as I can. Sorry, I use these lashes as long as I can. I do try not to cuss. I should probably get better about it because my son's first word is probably gonna be the F word. I'm kidding. Let me not even talk that out into the universe. But I'm sure he's gonna have slips, because I'm me. So anyway, so basically that's what I've been working on, is trying to improve my own mental health and my life in a lot of ways, you know. I'm trying to change a lot of things. A lot of people were surprised that I decided to leave grooming, but to me it seemed like really the only reasonable action. And honestly, it just gotten to the point that I wasn't happy anymore. I wasn't enjoying it the way I used to. I won't lie, this past weekend was Atlanta Pet Fair and I had a lot of FOMO. My son's just not at the point where he could have done a full day like that, or I would have gone and hung out. And I may next year. But he's just, it's not the right time right now. He's at the point, like, for example, when we went to court, we had to do a paternity test, and we got there. It was my ex's first time meeting my son, and River did really well in the very beginning. Brandon was holding him the whole time, you know, because he, again, had never met him. Still drink Red Bull. But it hit like about an hour or so. River got hungry, Brandon fed him, and then he started like either getting cranky because he was tired or bored or whatever, I don't know. But River just got to a point where he just cried, and then he, like, his gums have been swollen, he's been teething. He's finally, I think, past the threshold of like the teething being really bad, but for a while it was like, and at this point, like, he was how did I get black stuff on my face? Can you see that? His mouth was sore, and to do the paternity test, I do a swab, and she's like swabbing the hell out of his mouth, swabbing the heck out of his mouth. And I feel like those that really know me don't care about my cussing, but I will always get that one person like, I don't think I'm cussing, I can't even understand it. Anyway. So River was like beside himself after that, and it took a long time to calm him down. So regardless, the point of my story is that River has like about an hour, and then he's like, all right, I'm done, bro. And he's at the point that he needs entertainment now. Like, when he's a newborn, like, I could just take him out places, and most of the time he'd just sleep. But if he wasn't sleeping, he would just hang out, you know. He was pretty simple, but you know, they get older and they're like, where's my entertainment? So regardless, I just knew it was not going to work out bringing him to the Atlanta Pet Fair. I was really bummed about that because I really wanted to go, and it looked like it was so much fun, and I really wanted to see everybody. But alas, I'll go at another time. I got to go last year, but I was pregnant at the time, and I did tell some people while I was there, but I didn't make my announcement for like another month almost later, because I wanted to wait until I was 12 weeks and I'd done the genetic testing to make sure the baby was healthy and all that stuff, and that, you know, do that whole number. So anyway, yeah, I did feel a little FOMO, but I don't miss grooming. I miss the money sometimes, but I just would rather do almost anything else than have to go out into my van right now and go and go to groom a dog. I just can't. I had a client message me maybe a month or so ago. Probably was a month ago, because I was literally enrolling in school. Maybe it was less than a month. When did I enroll? I wonder. I don't remember. I know what day I started. I started last Monday, officially. But I had the whole enrollment period. But anyway, the client reached out and he was like, I have this whole setup in my basement that you can come and groom my dog still. I was like, no. I don't want to. Like, genuinely, I have no desire to go and groom right now. In fact, I'm looking at my own dogs that could use a grooming, and I'm like, I don't want to. But I'm gonna have to at some point. I'm gonna have to get over that because they need it. Hammer especially, he always gets so grungy. I'd shaved him down short and I'm going to shave him short again, so it's not, but I don't want him to get mad at either, you know. So I've been doing that. I've been busy, like that's the thing. I've been super freaking busy. It seems like I sometimes get myself anxious about, like, because I haven't found like that perfect job yet, because I am being picky on it. I know, yes, I need the money and everything, but also I'm not gonna go work in like a position that's not beneficial, if that makes sense. Because I left grooming because I wanted to be able to spend time with my son and so on and so forth. So I'm not gonna get another job that would also take away from my son. You know what I mean? So anyway, I've been trying to find that perfect remote position that's not 1099. That's been the biggest challenge, is all of them are 1099. I actually got a job offer through Aflac, but it was 1099. They wanted me in person. They were like, oh, you can just put your son in daycare. I'm like, I literally quit my business because I didn't want to put my son in daycare. So why would I do that for this role? Make it make sense. It doesn't matter. But that's you know, it's I think it's gonna come. And my school also has like student employment benefits or whatever. I forgot exactly how they phrase it, but basically the school will help you. Either they have like some jobs available or they can help you to get jobs in your field. So I need to look more into that, but like I said, I've been procrastinating on it for no good reason, really. I, like I said, had upset in my life that is very understandable as to why I would get distracted, but at the same time, it doesn't make me feel good when I let stuff like that interfere with the stuff that I actually want to do. But one thing I've been learning in school is like, so I'm good with long-term goals. You guys have seen my vision boards and all that, you know. God, my hair looks like a mess. I want to get more extensions. These, I have extensions in right now, but honestly, it's like pretty much the same length as my hair. My hair's gotten pretty long since my pregnancy. Anyway, but one thing I learned, that I think we've been working on more this week, that yeah, with the time management, is like you're supposed to have short-term and long-term goals. I'm good with long-term goals. Like obviously you guys have seen my vision boards. I always, every single year I write out my goals for the year. And then I have 5-year goals, which I'm so curious. I think my 5-year, I think it's this year. I'm supposed to read what my 5-year goals were. I bet you they're nothing like what I am doing right now, because I was in a completely different headspace in 2020 when I wrote those goals. So, you know, I've got that. Oh, my bangs, should I just leave like this? Ready to go. Oh, you know what? I need to put my lipstick on because I forgot yesterday. I've been chewing at my lip. You see? See, it's like bloody. Anxiety. That's why. So, I have my long-term goals, but I don't ever do short-term goals. And you're supposed to use your long-term goals to make your short-term goals. So I'm like, oh, that's, you know, I should do that. So I'm going to. That's, I was just doing some reading for class, and it was giving suggestions on how to do those type of goals, and it was saying how your long-term goals like help put the short-term ones into perspective. And I was like, I made some notes, because that's a cool thing in the textbook, like the online textbook, is you can highlight areas and make notes for yourself. I was doing that a lot. God, my lip is torn to shreds. Jesus. Was I getting anxious yesterday? I don't even know. Must have been. Looks terrible. What's happening? So anyway, that's something I'm gonna try to do when I get home. My son, from his physical therapy, I think I'm gonna write out short-term goals. I need to start doing daily goals too. It's a good idea. It really is. There's something else I was gonna say in relation to all that. No, I don't remember. It'll come back to me. I think it was fixed, by the way. Fixed and growth mentality, fixed mentality. So fixed mentality, I feel like we all know some of it this way. It's like people that are like, this is me, like this is who I am as a person, it's never gonna change, this is me. Whereas a growth mentality is like, you know, whatever you're doing right now is like something you can change. So like procrastination, for example, like the stuff I'm putting off, I can change that. I can start being more focused, you know. I've acknowledged that it's a problem and now I can change it, you know. That's the difference. So, you know. But I do want to write out my short-term goals, start doing some daily goals, because it does, like, I get that satisfied feeling when I go through and check off my list and see, like, oh, like, I did this, you know. This year I did not, sorry, hold on. Are you impressed I was able to talk while I was doing my lip liner? Because honestly, I'm feeling pretty impressed about it. Anyway, I didn't do my goals, the last year's goals. Normally I'll like do a video for you guys. I didn't do that this year because I already knew that my last year's goals were not, like, last year just was such a curveball because I did not expect to be pregnant. So none of the goals on my list coincided with how my year actually went. But that was actually one thing on this, because they tell you to do like SMART goals, right? And the SMART is like each thing means something. Like, I think the S is strategic, M is measurable, God, I don't remember. But you know, it each means a thing, right? So with the SMART goals, you would, there's SMART and the SMARTer goals, and in the SMARTer goals, you go back and reevaluate and reassess. So as you're working towards your goals, you may realize, like, you know what, this doesn't work for me, or this didn't go exactly how I planned, and then you would reassess that and change it to be more fitting, right? So your goals don't have to necessarily like be like, well, that was it, and this is how I'm going to go about it, and that's the only way I'm going to get there. You may find once you get into it that, you know, you could, that you need to do something a little bit different than you originally thought. So I thought I just heard him. I'm telling you, I was telling Becca and my sister and everybody that, like, I swear either A, I'm hearing the TV and I think it's my son, which is maybe probably the more logical explanation, but sometimes I swear I hear like a mimic in the house. Like, I will hear River's exact noises and I'll be like, oh shit, and then I'll go in there and look, or oh crap, I go in there and look and he's dead asleep. So I'm like, I don't know what I just heard, but to me it sounded like him. So I don't know. Maybe it's a mimic, maybe it's just the TV, because I do always keep the TV on. He needs background noise. He's like his mommy. I have to have background noise. If I don't have background noise, I will hear every little noise and I will wake up. And that is very much how River is as well. So anyway, I like that it goes into that about reevaluating your goals, because that's honestly what I should have done once I found out I was pregnant, is make the goals more realistic. And that's kind of where the short-term goals come in, and like why just doing long-term goals isn't fully effective. Like, I would say I still get there 9 times out of 10. I would like to redo my vision board, and I actually think we're doing that for class, that we're doing a vision board. So I'll have to look. So like I said, first semester is just getting to know you, kind of figuring out where you need to be. You know, they have you do a lot of writing assignments, because like the big two things that a lot of people struggle with are writing and math, which I'm really good at. Okay, that time I'm pretty sure I did hear him for real. I'm gonna hurry because it's definitely that time. He has been asleep for probably about 2 hours now. But I like for him to get a really good rest before physical therapy, because it's a lot of work on him. By the way, he's in physical therapy, because I'm sure somebody's wondering. I probably should have addressed this before now. 39 minutes into my video. He's in physical therapy because when he was born, he had a lip and a tongue tie, and he also would only lay on his left side. Like, literally, if I tried to put him on the right side, he'd just like flop right back. He would do the same thing if I tried to put him on his Sunday. hello, where did that even come from? On his stomach, he would flop right over. So basically they think either A, from how he was like sitting whenever he was in utero is what caused that. They said the lip and tongue tie can cause that, or it is possible when I was giving birth, he was in the birth canal for an extended period, and it could have been from that. So anyway, what we've been working on originally was to get him to lay flat and be able to lay on both sides equally. We're still trying to make sure he's using both arms equally, but right now we're kind of working on sitting up, rolling, getting into position for crawling. He's only 5 months, so he's not quite crawling yet, but you know, just encouraging him on his journey is what we're working on right now. But a lot of these moves, they make him use his core strength. It's like doing a really intense workout, but for like 40 minutes for him, which, mind you, I do yoga and I do like 20-minute intervals of yoga and it will kick my ass, you know. So anyway, moral of the story is after physical therapy, he's often pretty exhausted, irritable, sore, all of those things. So, I'm going to, I don't even remember why I brought that up. There was a reason. I'm going to watch this back and be like, oh yeah, that's where I was trying to go with that. Maybe it'll come back to me, maybe it won't. Can you tell my mom brain is in like full effect? But you know, anyway, oh, I know why. Because I was saying that I like him to take a good morning nap before he goes into therapy so that he can go in there and put his best foot forward. He did not last week. Last week, he was not having it. He started crying from like the very beginning. It was hard to get him settled. There was a lot of downtime. Whereas normally he goes in and he lets her work on him for a good like 30 to 40 minutes and without any protest whatsoever, and then he'll start getting irritated, but usually she can calm him down. But last week he was not having it. I don't know what it was. I think maybe it had been a lot at once because he had gone to court the day before for the paternity test, and he was like, he got too inconsolable then. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of is it's too much at once, because I was really out of character for him to just not let her do anything the entire time. So we'll see. I'm hoping today that he responds better, especially since he got a really good morning nap. I can't recall last week if he did or not, but I'm going to finish up my hair, and then I'm going to go and get him and wake him up, feed him and let him play for a minute, and then we'll leave and go to his physical therapy and do our thing. So, yeah, technically finished my classwork for today, but I still have some reading that I want to do. And then we're taking the VARK assessment, like VARK, and it tells you what kind of learner you are. And I pretty much think I know. Oh, pause, hold on. Let me go, actually.